Just a lifestyle video? Yeah. Yes, sir. You have to let go of things. And there's a reason I say this. And I'll tell you what happened to me in regards to this statement. Just hang with me. Hey, bro. Do you hunt? Oh, yeah? Oh. Yeah, man, I'm trying to go hunting. I'm trying to go hunting this year. Yeah. Oh, yeah? Yeah. For real, bro. That's it. That's what's on my mind. Bro, I'm not gonna buy meat for the whole for the whole minute. There is something so interesting about life that you only begin to realize the moment you start letting go. It's once you stop trying so hard, once you start letting go, the things that you're chasing, you realize they start coming to you. And this is something that I don't understand. This is something that I'm trying to understand. And I think this is the flow of life. And I think this is by design. You know, a design that allows us to know that there is something greater at work, at place. And that life does not come to us by us squeezing or trying to control everything. And I don't think it's luck either. This is how life flows underneath all the chaos that we create in our mind. See, when you're always fighting, when you're trying to hold on to things tightly, when you're always in need of something to happen, your life, your energy, and when I say energy, I don't mean it in the new age way. I mean it in the sense of that comes from the depth of who you are, that comes from your spirit. It's like a life force, if you will. You know, that's your energy, your essence, your core. When you are trying so hard to make things to happen, when you're always needing something to happen, your life stiffens, the energy and the strength that you have within. And that's when we begin to block the very things that we want. It's like trying to catch water. The more you squeeze, the more water slips right through your hands, right through your fingers. You know, I mean, think about the times that you were desperate for something, for love, success, and answers. Like the harder you pushed, the more it seemed like these things drift away from you. But the moment you get tired, once you get tired and you say, whatever happens, happens, suddenly, immediately, doors begin to open up for you. Opportunities begin to open up and people begin to appear for you. And it's not a coincidence. Like when you let go of needing it, your energy shifts from scarcity to trust. And life always responds better to trust than fear. The fear of not having that which is needed. Because when you need something, when you're squeezing so hard because of your need, your needing says, I don't have it, and I don't trust that I ever will. And letting go is you saying, I'm already whole. Like, if it comes, good. But if not, I'm still whole. Most people think that letting go means you're giving up. And they don't realize that letting go is not about you giving up. It's about stepping out of the way long enough for life to work for you instead of against you. When you're trying to control every outcome, you're moving from fear. Fear that it won't happen. Fear that you're not good enough. Fear that if you stop trying, then everything will fall. Everything will collapse. But that is a trap. And that's a trap because life is not built on force. Cast your anxieties upon Him. Life is built on flow. It's built on trust. I mean, think about it. Have you ever noticed how the best things in life comes when you're just living? When you are being in the present, when you are not watching the clock, when you are not trying to squeeze the future so hard. I mean, think about it. The friendship that lasted, you didn't force them. The opportunities that changed your life, how you just stumbled into them. The moments that made you feel alive, they weren't manufactured, they weren't planned. They were lived. And see, that's because life doesn't respond to our fear. Life does not respond to your effort in the way that we might think it should. It's a humbling thing because it shows us that there is something that is bigger than our plan. For me, that's God. There is a hand that is bigger than your plan. Life does not respond to your effort. It's responding to your energy, who you are. What life responds to is, it's our trust. You see, that's what it's responding to. That's why when you let go, see, things start coming to you. And that energy and who you are, it's the cleanest and purest and calmest when you are at peace with yourself, not needy, not desperate, just trusting. Because when you are trusting, you're in alignment. And when you are in alignment, the things that are meant for you, they don't have to be chased. They arrive. I'm starting to learn that the more that I chase certainty, it's like the more that I invite chaos. Because needing everything to make sense now, needing the answer to everything right now, it closes you off from the paths, from the roads that you can't even see yet. And when you're holding on so tightly to your idea of how life is supposed to unfold, when you're holding on to your own desires and you're holding on tightly to the things that you want or how you want life to turn out, we become blinded to the different or to the better ways that life is trying to hand to us. Think about it. You remember those moments when it's like things are falling apart or things fall apart and you panic, and to you, it feels like the world is falling apart. To you, it feels like it's the worst thing that ever could have happened. Yet, months later or years later, you realize that what actually happened to you was the best thing that could have happened to you. And see, these are ways that life tries to hand us things that are outside of our control. And it's not, and it's not an accident. This is life answering your deeper needs rather than your surface fear. And so you have to realize that there is a deeper intelligence in life. There is a deeper intelligence that is greater than your plan and greater than your own personal desires and need and fears. The more you loosen your grip, the more you let go of needing specific outcome at a specific time. So the more you create space for new and better things to rush in, to come in. But that's why you need to know yourself, or at least be at peace with yourself. Because trust is not passive. Okay, trust is powerful. Trust is saying, I am showing up fully, but I am not desperate for this to look or turn out exactly like I want it to, or to be exactly the way that I think it should be. So as you get to know yourself and become at peace with yourself, you realize, the trust you have is a result of you being at peace with yourself. It's a result of you being at peace with your life. And the trust allows you to move forward. Move forward without dragging your expectations with you like heavy chains that weighs you down and prevent you from living in the moment and prevent you from being present with yourself. Because you always have expectations and you're always thinking about the way that something should be or the way something should turn out. And when you are in the present, you don't even realize the present and you miss the present, you miss the moment because you're living in the future, or you're living in the past, or you're living in the expectations that you have, or the thoughts that you have, or the way that you think things should unfold. And you're constantly missing the present because of lack of trust in things that you can't control. You're trying to bend the reality of things, to turn out the way that you want them to turn out. And it's frantic. It's chaotic when you move or when you operate outside of trust, or when you're not at peace with yourself. When you're at peace with yourself and you trust and you're able to let go, okay, the energy that leads you to do that is not chaotic. And that energy is magnetic. You see, that's the energy that draws things to you because you have no expectations. Well, not that you don't have expectations to things or you don't, but you have let go of the effect of those expectations. You're not desperate for things to look exactly like you want them to. And life always answers the energy that you lead with. See, the energy of trust is not chaotic. The energy of trust is magnetic. Most people don't trust life because they have been trained to trust fear more than possibilities. And this is something that I'm realizing even with myself as well. At least, that's where I kind of find myself operating sometimes. And this is something I'm trying to break free of. This is something that I hope, we can all break free of. I mean, think about it. From the moment that we are young, we've been taught to plan for disaster, expect betrayal, protect ourselves from disappointments. So naturally, trusting feels unsafe. It feels reckless. It feels like you're standing at the edge of a cliff with no harness. But what we don't realize, or what nobody tells us, is that we are already standing on that cliff because life was never controllable in the first place. All the plans, micromanaging, all the anxieties, they only create an illusion of safety. But real safety is learning to surf the wave, not calm the ocean, because the wave will come. Real safety is learning to be alive inside of the chaos, not fighting against it, not begging for it to calm down, but moving with it like a dance. A dance you've always been familiar with. When you lean into trust, please listen to me. Our life must change. When you lean into trust, you don't stop caring about your dreams. You just stop trying to wrestle them into existence. And you realize something important, that what is made for you is not fragile. It's not running away. It doesn't want to be chased. All this, if you make chase, it doesn't want, what is meant for you doesn't need to be chased. And it's not fragile. It doesn't need you to hold it or squeeze it tighter. It needs you to meet it halfway with open palms and open heart. Okay, this is the peace and the calmness of life, not with balled up or clenched fists. Every single thing that you're trying to force right now, every person that you're chasing, every goal that you're strangling, you think you're getting after your goal, but you're strangling it. See, you are stopping it. You are blocking it. You're keeping it, you're preventing it from happening because you're gripping it with fear instead of meeting it with trust. Now, the moment you breathe and say, I trust life to lead me where I'm meant to be, everything starts to move faster, softer, and maybe not always easier, but they become simpler, more naturally, because you're no longer standing in your own way. And one thing that I'm starting to realize is most of the things that I struggle with in life, it's not really because I'm doing the wrong things. It's because I'm doing them with tightness and fear underneath, because of that voice in my head, that voice that we hear in our head. If I don't make this happen now, I will lose everything. And so I grip harder, start to panic when results don't show immediately. And you start to think, maybe I'm failing, when really, you're just forcing. And life doesn't respond to force, it responds to alignment. And when you're acting from fear, you create resistance. Being fearful and always needy of things and other people, it creates scarcity and resistance. But acting from trust creates momentum. I mean, think about this. Sometimes you meet people who are just effortlessly magnetic, so smooth. And it's not that these people are not trying. It's not that they are not desperate, but because they are relaxed. They trust in themselves and they trust life to carry them. And it's like they have a different energy field around them. Oh, aura. Oh, he got aura. He got aura. And here's the truth. Here's the secret. You can have that too. You do not need to become better, more stronger, or more impressive. You only need to become lighter. You need to remember that you're already enough without needing to squeeze life into a perfect timeline. The less you panic, the more you open. The less you chase, the more you attract. The less you grip, the more you grow. And it's not about doing less. It's about being different. You become a calmer, wiser version of yourself. And it's not because you forced it, but because you trusted yourself enough to allow it. And it might seem a bit unfair how you work so hard, you hustle and you grind, you try to control every aspect of your life. And somehow things still slips away from you. But the moment you ease up, the moment you start letting go, the right opportunities, the right people, the right things start finding their ways to you. And it's not magic, it's not luck, it's not a coincidence, it's energy. It's who you are, inside. It's the energy that you lead with, that you're leading with. Who you are, it's who you have become, it's who you're becoming. And your awareness to understand and your awareness to, see yourself in that place and see yourself, or allowing yourself to come to that place. Come on, you good? You're fine.
Vlogging, right?
Yeah. You wanna you good, you can. You guys fishing?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. The race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, nor bread to the wise, nor riches to men of understanding, nor favor to men of skill. But time and chances happen to them all. Most people are obsessed with speed. I need to make it happen now. If not, it's not happening yet. Yeah, it must be failing. No, but here's the truth. Your speed means nothing if you're racing towards the wrong direction. I think the greatest thing is to have the ability to unlearn the things that you've learned in life. Because life is just about us learning and unlearning things, learning and unlearning things. See, there are certain things that I used to believe, but I no longer believe. But there are certain things that I believe and I know that I will never change in those regards. See, those are certain cores and certain foundation. And one of them is my ability to always learn. And especially when I see the impact that these things are having in my life and how it's making me really to become more truthful to myself. And I'm aware of the places in my life that I fail. I'm aware that there are certain places in my life that I still fall short more than I would actually be willing to admit. There are areas in my life that I might not be living up to, and I know these things. But I have to allow myself, not to be comfortable in those areas as to, oh, well, it's just me, this stuff has to happen. But I have to allow myself to see or look for changes or look for ways that I can actually grow from those things, or at least get to know myself and ask myself some questions as to why do I always, or find the reasons or the things that actually lead me to come to that place where I feel like I'm not living up to the expectation. Before your slip up or before your actions are visible, there is a decision that has already been made in your mind, in that which cannot be seen. Or there is an acceptance, an agreement that you come into, and the action is just a manifestation of that agreement. I believe in God, and I believe He's teaching me things in different ways. But my journey is my journey with Him, and your journey is your journey. Real trust and letting go is the act of letting things take their natural course. Let things take the time that they're supposed to take to come into existence, to come into manifestation. And not manifestation in the sense of, the word that, or the way that, the New Age talk about manifestation. But it's in the, divine timing of them. I know there are times in my life when I found myself in situations where somebody want to walk away from my life. Or they say certain things that I might not agree with, but because I want them to be in my life, I didn't take a stand or I compromise. Because I feel like, well, if I tell them this about myself, about me, or if I take a stand against what they say that they believe or the way of their life, if I say, no, I don't agree with that, then maybe they might walk away from my life. And so I compromise. And in a sense, in a way, that is forcing a situation or trying to control an outcome. And eventually, see, those things always still come to an end. What I was trying to prevent always end up happening. But that's because, see, when you try to control, you are not your authentic self. When you force things, you are not your authentic self. Because all our authentic self is finding trusting. Now that is where you're at peace with yourself. And what you trust often builds itself stronger than anything that you could have designed. And think about it. That's why the biggest things in life, the things that changed you, they probably didn't arrive on your own personal time, your own personal deadline. They showed up in their own time in ways that you could have never planned. A friendship that came out of nowhere, an opportunity you didn't even apply for, a door that opened when you were no longer even looking. But that's what life does when you stop fighting, when you stop gripping, when you stop screaming, where is it? And you start operating from a place that says, I'm ready when you are. Because there's a rhythm to your life that is so much better than the pressure that you feel right now. But that rhythm gets out of whack when you're moving from a place of fear, because it's chaotic and the rhythm cannot function where there is chaos. This happened to me recently. There was somebody that I used to talk to. We were cool, but there were certain things that they did that I didn't think things should operate that way. And so we decided to go our separate ways, and I didn't really compromise. We stopped talking and for a very long time. And eventually I received a text message from this person, and I know it's them because they sent me a picture of the first place that we met, saying, "Oh, I was just here and I just thought about you." And I told her, I said, "Hey, well, I haven't changed in my belief, and I don't agree with the things that you said." I asked her if she's still that same person. She said, "Oh, no, that her mind has changed." But I guess it's that concept of letting go. See, because when you let go, this is your authentic self. It doesn't necessarily mean that you don't fight for things that you're supposed to fight for, or you don't fight for things that serves you, that you're supposed to fight for. Sometimes when you're in a situation, I'm saying, if you find yourself somewhere and you're at fault, you did wrong, you gotta own up to it, and there's nothing wrong with apologizing. In that instance, what you are letting go of is pride. In that instance, what you are letting go of is ego. Letting go does not mean that you don't apologize when you're wrong. Letting go does not mean that you let life and relationship come to an end when you are wrong, and where you are supposed to do something or reach out, you don't reach out because you're letting go. That's not it. And if you're still watching this, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for taking the time or giving me the time to share this with you. When I make these videos, it's me really, just speaking to myself. And I hope you guys be safe and do the best with the things that you have. I really appreciate every single one of you, for real. Thank you.
We had our ups and downs, baby. Sometimes we were tight and sometimes oceans apart. Gotta learn just how to move on without you. Move on without you. We had our on and offs, baby. Sometimes we were tight and sometimes everything but. Gotta learn just how to feel.